Hello, this is Ron Miller. I'm going to go through some gradebook setups. So, really going to start off from scratch. And when you go into gradebook, you'll probably see a screen similar to this, and we're going to go to grade setup. And I'm looking at a semester-long class here first, and we're going to do year-long next. So, gradebook, double-click on Q1. You can either do total points or category weights. If you do select category weights, you will have to do that all the way through everything for that course. So I'll go through here, pick out my different categories. I had to give each of them a weight, and interestingly enough, this does not have to add up to 100%, but it should. Okay, so once I get that in and I hit enter, I see the 20, 30, 50. Good. For category weights for Q1. I could have just done total points left alone. That'd be fine. You just have to be consistent with everything. Alright, so I'm going to save. Should have hit save down here at the bottom. Now I'm going to go to Q2 and category weights again. Notice that the categories for this could be different. It doesn't have to be the same, but I'm going to pick the same ones. Put in my weights for each of those. Hit save. Alright. Now E1, if your course has an exam, you should not leave this as total points. You just have to use category weights. And you need to have a category named exam. And I must have just broke it. Alright, so there's my exam. It's going to be 100%. Save. And now for F1. So F1 is going to be term weights, and we have to put down what each one of these are. Okay, so if you have an exam and it counts as 20%, then it would be 40, 40, 20. If you happen to exclude a kid, or a kid is exempt from exams for whatever reason, it will revert back to the 40, 40, because the kid will not have had a E1 grade. It would be blank. So that's what to make sure that have here. And if you're more of a middle school and you don't have a final exam, you could do 50, 50, 0, and that would be your percents. That would show up there, and that's all you have to do for your F1s. You just have to make sure that that's in there. While we're on the screen, note that the dates show up here of what dates go with each term. Notice that E1 shows up. I'm happen to be at Orange High School, so the dates for this particular year are anywhere from January 13th through the 23rd. So any of those dates that you put in for an exam, you'd want to use one of those dates in between those two. Alright, so save any of the changes that you've made there. Now for a year-long class. Same thing, I'm going to go through Q1 and get my weight set up, and so I did Q1 earlier on. Now I need to do Q2 again. These don't have to match, so I'm going to take advantage of that at this point. Put in my weights. Alright, save. Notice that you have M1 here. If you happen to be at a high school, the M1 is there basically for the CTE classes. You can ignore this one if you don't give a midterm exam. Notice the dates are for this year, the 21st through the 23rd, if you do have a midterm exam. Very helpful with figuring out S1 if you have a midterm exam. And if you did use a midterm and you're using category weights, you have to use category weights here. And you could have it listed as exam. You don't have to have a category weight of, a category specifically for midterm exam. And I must not be checking that hard enough. Alright, so this would be 100%. Okay. Save. Now I can solve for S1. So S1 will be term weights. So Q1 would be, I think midterms count 10% or something. So that would be 10%. But whatever your midterm counts, that's what it should be there. Alright. So now that we've got S1 done, you would continue on, do the same thing with your Q3. Oops, did term. I see. There you go. Alright, so category weights. I'll pick my categories, give them the weights that I want to have for the class. Save. Q4 category weights, and I'm just going to pick the same ones again. Now the weights could be different. I'm using the same weights every time, but those could end up being different. Right, save. Now I need to do E1 category weight, exam 100%. Now I need to solve for F1 for the year long. So this is going to be term weights. So this would be 40, 40, 20, or whatever weight you needed those to be. Click save, and everything is good. So we'll double check these. So I'm just going to go through and spot check, make sure. Oop, I didn't do S2. Alright, so term weights 100, 100. Save. Alright, so Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, S1, S2, E1, and then of course your F1 would be term weights. Alright, I hope this has helped out. One last thing, as you make any changes to your grade setup, you should go to Tools and click on Recalculate Final Scores. If you happen not to do that, you could end up having some numbers that aren't correct. That's best practice to do that. Alright, if you have any questions, please feel free to get in touch. Thank you so much.